if I traded it all, if I gave it.
Welcome back. So I'm excited about bringing on my next guest because he does lots of stuff for all of us here at KFNX, especially for me. I have with me Michael Colvin, and he is the owner of Dimension 5. Welcome back to the show. You've been on the show. You've had your own show here. You do lots of fun things. Let's talk about you for just a little bit.
Oh, that sounds good. Let's talk about me.
Let's talk about you.
Where should I start? Well, I'm really handsome, really tall. No, seriously. Well, I own Dimension 5 Productions. It's a nice little film studio, we'll call it, and I do explainer videos on the corporate level for people. I just kind of, I won't say finished, but we're close to finishing your video, which we're real excited for.
Yay, so excited about that.
And we'll be launching that on YouTube and your website and my website, which is d5prod.com.
Mm-hmm. So, but talk a little bit, too, about the kind of work that you do, because it's so different. I want people to understand that, and then we're going to talk about my video.
Okay. So my approach is a little different. I don't work with cookie cutter in any way, shape, or form. What I like to do is tell the whole story of something. So when I'm doing a corporate video, how did your corporation begin? You know, what was its founding message? What's its current message? How did you grow it? You know, I want to tell the whole story from beginning to end. And we try to do that in, 3 to 5 minutes, on the long end 10 minutes, because we want to grab their attention. We want to capture them. We want to tell your audience a story or your customer a story. We don't want to bore them either. So we basically build it in the 3-act setup, like you'd see any feature film. You know, Act 1, how did we get started? Act 2, what was going on? What led you to your success? Brings you to your climax. Act 3, who you are currently, what you're doing currently, and how you can help your customers.
Well, let me tell you, if you have a business especially, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a business. You're talking corporate right now. He has done weddings. You have done so many different videos for people, but it's really more about telling the story. It isn't just having someone come in and doing a little clip here and there and then putting that together and having a little clip video. We do that here on the station, which is awesome for people that come in, and anybody that does a show here, they can also get videotaped if they want, which is very cool. Which is
it's cool, and it's just fine. It's just not what I do. It's
different, but you have to have stuff like that to add to what you do.
Absolutely, and within your video, I decided to open it with a video wall. And I took I won't say all, because you have literally thousands of people that have been on the show. But I took some of the people from this show and the videos they did here and worked them into your video. And I think it came out really nice.
I do, too. I saw a little bit of it. We're just working on it now. And I can only tell you guys that everything that you do, no matter what, if you can get it on video right now, that is like the thing to do.
Oh, absolutely. And what I do, which a lot of people aren't doing yet, but they should immediately switch over, and I will say that, 4K is it's what films have always been shot in. But it's also the new wave of video. There's 4K TVs that just came out. There's, 4K monitors, 4K cameras. I use a Blackmagic 4K. Absolutely love the camera. I've been known to use a Red Dragon as well for more feature projects. These are the cameras you want now, because this is what's going to carry you through the next decade. This is the next big thing, and it's here now, so why not use it now? And, of course, you can still view it on 1080 monitors or even standard monitors, but you want to shoot in the highest possible quality to get the longevity of your project.
His website is d5prod.com, and you can see a lot of his work there. The videos that you've done for me, okay, where we've incorporated this show, what we've done is we've made it real special for everybody so that you can all see it. I'll be putting that on my website. I'll be having it on a YouTube channel.
Right, it'll be on your YouTube channel.
Right.
And by the way, folks, all of Carol's past guests, well, we'll say all the past guests in the last few years are on that YouTube channel. So you should definitely check that out. There's a lot of great people on there with great stories.
And the coolest thing is that everybody does have a story, and it is about using all of the things that you have. And if you are on this show and you've been on this show and everything you do when you come on a radio show or television or whatever, whenever you get interviewed, it gives you credibility.
Absolutely.
So all of that is huge. And mine are so relatively unbelievably affordable. I mean, it's ridiculous. We made it that way.
No, absolutely. And what's your line there? You made
cheap and cheerful.
Well, cheap and cheerful. That's actually the better line. But you made prime time affordable. I think it was something like that.
Well, yeah, I am the prime time drive time show, and yes, it is unbelievably affordable, and you can't beat having an added video for like $25 right now, which is awesome. But here's the thing. Not only do we make it here at KFNX, great with everybody, you put the logo on it, it all goes on there, but then you take it and enhance everything. And that's what I love about that. And you actually talk to them about their story. You get much more out of it than just a little video clip.
Well, it's a long process. And, oftentimes I'll meet with a potential client and they'll say, well, how come it's so much? Well, I'm not cheap. I'm not cheap and cheerful. I'm cheerful, but I'm not cheap. It's so expensive because I have to dig into it. I mean, there's a ton of research that goes before I even turn on the camera. And I personally do these projects. My fingers are on each and every one of these projects. Yes, I have people that work for me that do some of the grunt work, but I personally supervise every project. I make sure it comes out the way I want it, the way it should be, perfect, basically.
On some of your projects that you've been doing recently, some of the ones that you've done, let's talk a little bit about them, because it doesn't have to necessarily be business. We're talking business right now, but go ahead. How about an author out there that would love to talk about their book and why they
pitch there, unfortunately. Yeah, but I also do weddings, and how I treat weddings is just such a special event. I get involved months before the wedding starts. I have to be involved in every stage, every bit of the planning, and I put my 2 cents in, but ultimately it's their wedding. But I want to make sure I capture every single moment of it perfectly, and I use the same kind of setup, a 3-act setup, but I do it in 7 scenes for a wedding, because there's too much for just a few scenes. You need it all. And typically, when I'm done with a wedding, done with the editing, I'll shoot the entire wedding day, the day leading up to the wedding day. I have literally 20 hours of footage, and I cut it down to feature film length, so right around, an hour 50 to 2:30.
And what you do is, when you say that you get into it, took a few months beforehand, you're hearing their story, because everybody has one.
I want to know how they met. How I need the whole story, because there's a whole story there, and that's what I'm after. That's what I do.
And while you're there, you also talk to the bridesmaids and
wedding planners. I do interviews with the family and friends. I call it a family and friends documentary that, is basically them giving praise or homage to the couple and telling the story of, from their first meeting to the wedding day.
Now, his website is D5prod, Prod, for production. .com. And another thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about, with so many people out there right now are doing their own ebooks. Okay, I'm just going to give people food for thought right now. Okay, and how about having that video that goes along with that of why you wrote it, and it brings it so much more full circle than ever before.
What it does is it takes and makes a very personal thing a personal thing. Because when you write an ebook, a book, any kind of project that you put yourself into, when people are seeing that project or product or book or whatever you want to call it, they're not seeing everything beforehand. And that's what they need to see. They need to know the story. They need to know what's driving them to pick this up. Who are you? Who am I reading from?
Tell everybody why it's so important today, why video has just taken on so much.
Well, the nice thing about video, the video was always important for TV, but now with the internet and the various different stations within the internet, you got your Ustream, which we use here, you got your YouTube, which we also use here. It's so easy to get your content seen by the world if you have a video. And a lot of people nowadays, unfortunately, the attention spans are gone. They don't want to read. I don't know what it is. I don't know what changed all of a sudden. Most people don't read. So you send them a nice email, and it could describe everything to a T.
Now they're not reading
either.
And
they're not reading it. So why not email them the video?
Not only do they not open them, they're not reading them, they're not pushing the phone numbers on the phone.
They say with emails, especially a qualifying email or sales email, they read maybe the first 2 lines. And then within those first 2 lines, they either close it or they carry on.
But a video captures...
you can send videos via email with any blast service or through send YouTube links, any way you want to do it. But you can send them so they play automatically when opened. If somebody has moving pictures, sound in front of them, we all do it. The
I love
TV's
it.
on, you turn, you mean to watch or look at a commercial, all of a sudden you're sitting down for an hour. That's the power of video. You get your entire message out there, and people aren't going to tune it out. It's lights and sound. What's better?
I love the way you said that. It's the magic of video. And say it again.
Lights and sound?
It is everything. I just love the way that when you said that, the minute that it starts, you pull up the website, the email, and it's moving and it's going, and everybody is attracted to it.
Right. Yeah, you have your hook.
You have your hook. You got to check him out, guys. He's doing my videos, and they're all going to be ready for everybody to view very shortly.
I would say Monday at 9 a.m. You could find it either on your YouTube channel, you can find it on my channel, d5prod.com, or networkingarizona.net.
Well, check him out. He's great, guys. It's d5prod.com.